So hey guys, welcome to Learn with Rahul. So today we are going to talk about The Last Duchess by Robert Browning. So before I start, I have a huge request for you. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. Your subscription will be a big motivation for me. So let's start. My Last Duchess is a poem by Robert Browning, frequently anthologized as an example of the dramatic monologue. It first appeared in 1842 in Browning's dramatic lyrics. The poem is written in 28 rhyming couplets of iambic pentameter. Now let's talk about Robert Browning. Robert Browning, 7 May 1812 to 12 December 1889, was an English poet and playwright whose mastery of dramatic monologue made him one of the foremost Victorian poets. His poems are known for their irony, characterization, dark humor, social commentary, historical settings, and challenging vocabulary and syntax. Browning's early career began promisingly but collapsed. The long poems Pauline and Paracelsus received some acclaim, but in 1840 the difficult Sordello, which was seen as willfully obscure, brought his poetry into disrepute. His reputation took more than a decade to recover, during which time he moved away from the Salian forms of his early period and developed a more personal style. In 1846, Browning married the older poet Elizabeth Barrett and went to live in Italy. By the time of her death in 1861, he had published the crucial collection Men and Women, the collection Dramatics Personae, and the book length epic poem The Ring, and the book followed and made him a leading British poet. He continued to write prolifically, but his reputation today rests largely on his poetry he wrote in this middle period. When Browning died in 1889, he was regarded as a sage and philosopher poet who, through his writing, and had made contributions to Victorian social and political discourse. Unusually for a poet, societies for the study of his work were founded while he was still alive. Such Browning societies remained common in Britain and the United States until the early 20th century. Now let's talk about the summary of the poem. The poem is set in the Italian Renaissance. The speaker, presumably the Duke of Ferrara, is giving the emissary of the family of his prospective new wife, presumably a third or fourth, since Browning could have easily written second but did not do so. A tour of the artworks in his home. He draws a curtain to reveal painting of a woman, explaining that uh, it is a portrait of his late wife. He invites his guests to sit and look at the painting as they looked at the portrait of late Duchess. The Duke describes her happy, cheerful, and flirtatious nature which has displaced him. He says she had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad. He goes on to say that his complaint of her was that 'twas not her husband's presence only that made her happy. Eventually, I gave commands, then all smiles stopped together. This could be interpreted as either the Duke had given commands to the Duchess to stop smiling or commands for her to be killed. He now keeps her painting hidden behind a curtain that only he is allowed to draw back, meaning that now she only smiles for him. In My Last Duchess, the Duke of Ferrara is addressing the envoy of the court of Tyrol. Although he is on his best behavior, the Duke of Ferrara demonstrates many sociopathic tendencies as he recalls the time he shared with his now deceased Duchess. Even in death, the Duke wished to hide her away behind the curtain where no other man could admire her beauty. The Duke then resumes an earlier conversation regarding wedding arrangements and, in passing, points out another work of art, a bronze statue of Neptune teaming a seahorse by Claus of Innsbruck, so making his late wife but just another work of art. In an interview, Browning said, I meant that the commons were that she should be put to death, or he might have had her shut up in a convent. So I hope this video will be a huge help for you. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. Your subscription will always be a big help and motivation for me. So that's all for today, guys. Love you, take care, bye, over and out.